It's Thursday the 22nd of November, 11:30 AM, and here I am in St Ives, and I've just stopped for a cup of tea, having walked down from the campsite, which is about probably a mile away, and I'm carrying on this morning from where Rachel and I left off from last night. When I say last night, it was only about 3:30, 4 o'clock actually, but it was starting to get dark and the light was fading. I had to go and do some shopping and walk back up the hill again, and Rachel was tending to a sparrow with a broken leg, I think it was, and she was trying to dig some worms or something. She's into that kind of thing. But it was really enjoyable having Rachel for company for a couple of hours. We walked along and told each other our life stories, as you do, and I hope I see her again one day, and maybe I will, but I hope she'll keep in touch. Today I decided against going walking to St Just. It seems almost as if I don't want to go, but to be honest with you, I don't want to go in the gale force winds that we've got at the moment, which is supposedly going to die off by this afternoon. But as I said once before, there's no rush, and I wouldn't enjoy it at all, even if the wind is behind me. And even though I'm always very careful, I think it's dangerous to walk on a cliff top in 40 miles an hour wind, and I wouldn't be able to get any video. So this morning I've got 2 cameras with me, and by a bit of magic I'm going to show you what I did at 4 o'clock this morning in trying to solve this wind noise in my cameras. And so this is what my camera looks like at the moment. As you can see, it looks a little bit rough and ready, but it's only a prototype. It's just an experimental effort, really, and it looks a bit Heath Robinson, but I gave it a test earlier this morning in the wind outside the camper van on the campsite, with 2 identical cameras facing in exactly the same direction, and it did cut the wind down quite considerably. But whether it's going to work on the cliff tops is another thing, and I'll soon find out. Then I can always change it again, but it's worth having a go at. Intention is to walk to St Just tomorrow, and then the day after to Land's End, so I should be all finished by Sunday, and I'll spend another couple of days on the campsite having a rest, and then I'll make a decision from there what I'm going to do and where I'm going to go. So here we go. So people said to me that when you're in St Ives you must go to the Sloop for a beer, and I'll be honest with you, it's a nice pub. I don't care much for the staff, but nevertheless I've met these very nice people. This is Tom and this is
Norma.
Norma. So Tom, what are you doing here? Where are you from?
I'm having a drink in the Sloop, and it's been around since 1310, so that suits me fine.
Right. Have you been here all that time?
I wish I had. I did say to them I was a ghost, come back.
Yes.
We got the clothes from a charity shop, so maybe that will do.
Yes. I mean, I like these historic pubs, and part of this journey that I'm on is to visit places like this. I've been into lots and lots of places like this, which I didn't even know existed.
Sure.
And yeah, I've had a pint of the local lager. I usually drink Stella, but I've had a pint of the local lager. It's very, very nice, you know.
Well, that's Cornish for beer, isn't it?
Yes, and it's you know, it's okay. And yourself, Norma, where are you from?
Scotland.
Scotland? Well, you haven't got.
Haven't been there for a long time, but yeah,
right.
We've actually come down here to visit Tate St Ives.
Yes.
So I've never been there before,
Yeah.
so it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
That's where we're just on our way back, and we dropped in here and then met you, which has been fascinating. It's
Well,
great.
I'm very pleased. I mean, it's not much of a walking day today, is it?
No, but isn't that view wonderful?
Oh yes, fabulous. I mean, I walked from Hale. I walked to Hale the day before yesterday, and yesterday I walked from Hale to here, and now I'm just going around ahead and
Yes.
to my camper van, which is just slightly down the coast, and tomorrow I'll be going to St Just.
Really
So
beautiful.
it's all worked out really nicely.
Yeah. One of the marvellous things about the Tate is that you're looking at these paintings and, you know, local artists and so on, but every room you go into you actually get the view over the sea,
Yes.
and it's been beautifully built with that in mind, I think.
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. and so where are you from, Tom? Oh, sorry, I've asked you that before. You're from Brixham, which is where my
Devon. Exactly,
ancestors
Hawkins,
are from.
yeah.
The Hawkins
And I
family.
know that the fishermen from Hull and Grimsby, which is not your favourite word, I know, used to come west and vice versa,
Yes.
because they all had a common, they shared a common
Yes.
interest.
Well, they used to fish off the Humber seasonally in the winter, and they discovered Dogger Bank and what was called the Silver Pits.
Sure.
And that was in around about 1830, 1840, and that's how Hull and Grimsby actually arrived on the scene, and that coincided with the railway system being built in 1840, and so Hull beat Grimsby to it, where they could actually get fish to Leeds and London much quicker than anything else. That was the new form of transport, and so there was a massive boom in the population in Hull, which is today, people don't believe me when I tell them it's 1/3 people.
Sure.
It's a big
Well, it's a city of
place.
culture, isn't it?
Well, it was last year.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
And I walked through it on this journey, and you wouldn't believe the difference it makes. I've spent a lot of money, and it's a far more attractive place. But it's a port, and you expect a port like Hull or Liverpool or whatever. It's quite industrial, and it's a busy place. But it's an attractive place,
Sure.
and I'm very pleased to see that it is. You know.
It's got the old warehouses, hasn't it? There's
Yes.
a street of green ginger.
The
very
land of green
famous,
ginger,
Land
that's
of green
right.
ginger,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
famous
yeah.
street.
Yes.
You can imagine them bring. But Brixham had a railway that Dr. Beeching,
One of the ones that was closed down.
God,
Axe
curse his name.
in
Yeah,
63,
Axe,
yeah.
definitely.
So-
That took the fish to Churston and then on to London.
Yes, yes.
And then it was disbanded. They
Yeah.
built over it, and now there's a business case for a railway, but the land isn't available.
No.
So that's it. Just a nice pub at the end of the
Yeah.
line, the Queen's, if you ever go there.
Right. Well, I mean, at the same time in '63, with the beaching era, and also like the Cod War was on at that time.
I remember it.
And then there was the beginnings of the EU. Well, I mean, Hull, a third of the population of Hull was involved in the fishing industry one way, and all the ancillary industries, and they all lost their jobs overnight, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and but you're a swimmer as well.
I am, but my mum was a swimmer. She used to swim into the middle of Torbay and hail the trawlers. I just jump in and out, you know, I just jump and swim. Just, it's always a good feeling.
Yes.
I mean, you know that from walking.
Yes.
You never regret it. You might get damp on the way, especially swimming.
Yeah.
It tends to happen, but you know, it's great as long as the seals leave you alone. As long as they come and nibble your feet and things.
If you look at the lighthouse across the road,
Yeah.
I don't know whether you know that. If you go just to slight about 250 metres to the north of that, I passed not yesterday, the day before yesterday. There's a bay there, and there was about 70 or 80 of them laid on the beach. You know, I've never seen so many seals in one go.
They're normally okay. Of course, you can't really tell with an animal like that, but some of the beta males, you know, who might get pushed around, they might be a bit aggressive, but generally they might nibble people.
Yes.
Especially if they've got fins on, they tend to kind of grab the fins.
Well, I mean, the cliff is about probably 100 feet up, you know.
Yeah.
I was quite amused by a woman the other day who said to me, she said, there's some seals down there. She said, but I'm warning you, they're having rumpy pumpy. I never thought of a seal as
Is that a local brew or something?
Bumpy. Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. But look, I know we have more or less told in the life story or each other. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Yes,
it's been very nice.
Yes.
And this is what I like about this. I've got no idea who I'm going to meet, what I'm going to see, and I'm very pleased that we just happen to be sat in the same bar at the same time.
And it's a nice bar. It's a real one. It hasn't got too much candy floss, and you know, look at it. It's
that's right.
Wood, stone,
just as it was.
Beer, conversation, end of.
We'll try and follow your tracks.
We don't have clay pipes anymore, but never mind, you can't have everything.
I know, that's the distressing point. You can't smoke in here, can you?
No.
But, okay, very nice to meet you. It's
nice
been
to
a real
meet
pleasure.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
You take care, mate.
Thank you. Bye-bye. It's 2 o'clock now, and I've been sat talking to some very interesting people in the pub, and as you just saw, and it's time to leave, and it's time to set off back to the van. The wind is swirling around like it was forecast, even more so than I think anybody expected, and whether this microphone is working I'll find out later, but that's not the point. It's been nice to come here. It's just such a sad thing that it's such a bad day, and I'm so pleased that I made the decision not to walk today. I was always a little bit worried about that, and I seem to be kind of dilly-dallying about this, but it's got to be right and it's got to be enjoyable. I'm not going to do it under duress, and so I'm very pleased. So I'm going to go and do some shopping now, walk around the head. I can't get many good shots with this wind as it is, and make my way back to the camper van, which has become almost my home, and I can't wait to get back there. Well, I'm on the island just above Porthmeor Beach, and I've met John. And John's an avid walker. John, you've got a bit of a story to tell, haven't you?
Walking, yes. Yep, we've been going to the Northern Fells now for Christmas for about 17, 18 years.
Yes.
But before that, over the years, we've walked over Bodmin Moor, Dartmoor, the Yorkshire Dales.
Wow.
We've walked through northern Spain.
Oh, yes.
The Picos de Europa Mountains.
Yes.
Over the years.
That's fantastic.
But we've never done the mountains in Germany.
Really?
There's some famous ones there.
Yes.
So we hope to get there one day.
And do you live locally?
Yes, yeah, we do. Janet and me.
Are you're not from this area originally?
No, I'm from the north.
Where are you from?
Well, born in Bury.
Oh, Bury.
And then, beginning of the war, we went back to Barry-in-Furness, or my parents did, where all the grandparents were.
Right.
So the old people, the family, two families, all moved back to Barry-in-Furness.
Well, that's amazing.
At the start of the war.
During this walk, when I was in North Wales, my daughter went camping at Ramsbottom.
Oh yeah.
And said, "You've got to come and see Ramsbottom, Dad." And I went over there and stayed for 2 or 3 days. And what a fantastic place that is.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Bury. They've got the East Lancs Railway that runs up there as well.
Well, I was born on my Auntie Elsie's chicken farm, which was at a place called Birtle.
Oh right.
Just between Bury and Haywood.
Oh,
really.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Then.
It's a lovely part of the world. I mean, I've been over there before, but never camping. You know, and it's a fairly isolated place, but it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and we've walked in Derbyshire. Derbyshire's wonderful.
Oh, it is.
You know, next to the Lake District.
Yes, fabulous.
That's wonderful. Okay.
Oh, very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
I haven't got your card, Jim.
Jim, yeah.
All the best with your walk.
Thank you.
Okay, and then you'll have to research your next one.
It's lovely to meet you, John. Lovely to meet you.
Interesting to meet someone who lived in Bulgaria for 5 years.
Oh, well, it was 10 years actually.
10 years?
Yeah, we lived on the River Danube for 5 years, and then we lived in Sofia for the second 5 years.
Wonderful.
And there's some very lovely people in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And lovely places to
walk.
walk.
Yes, absolutely. There's some fun, the mountains and everything, and we found some really nice fishing lakes. My wife and I used to go fishing there and everything,
wonderful.
and catching huge carp and catfish and that kind of thing. It was
nice to meet you, Jim.
Very nice to meet you.
I'll shake your hand before I go.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
So this is Paul, and this is Sian, and you're both from near Cardiff or north of Cardiff.
Yes.
And do you come down this way very often?
Yes.
As often as we can. This is our 4th week down here this year.
The 4th. Wow!
Yeah,
Wow!
We've been coming here for over 40 years.
Oh, that's incredible, isn't it? And yet you've got such a lovely coastline in Wales as well, haven't you? Pembrokeshire and everything.
We had a caravan in Saundersfoot. Great.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice. Well, that's almost near the north, the sort of western end. It's not far from. Now then, what's the name of the place?
Freshwater.
Cap Carmarthen is...
St David's.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the start of... I go through so many places.
Yeah.
Amroth.
Oh, yes, lovely.
Yeah, just and between Amroth and Tenbury.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
So, about yourself then, Paul, do you happen to be a walker or...
Well, we do a little bit of walking.
Yes.
Retired now, but...
right.
I do a bit more than you now.
Yes.
We got Fitbits.
So I've got my Fitbit as well. Yeah,
the knees don't cope with a lot of walking these days.
No, well, that's fair enough. But no, this Cornwall, I mean, I'm absolutely knocked out with it. It's around every corner. This is what this film's about, really. It's about around every corner. I see something I've never ever seen before, and I meet people I've never met before, and you blend it together and put it onto video, and it's a wonderful memory.
A few things down here is all the roads and little lanes and everything, they all lead to one place in St Ives, and that's the sloop.
Yes, yes.
That's what I was saying. And it was here night before last, and the Coast Guard was doing a practice climb and rescue by here, and that was worth watching.
Wow, that's incredible.
The lifeboat then last night, wasn't it?
The lifeboat launch. We always go to that on a Wednesday.
Well, you both look very happy together, because if you're enjoying yourself. I've just been in the sloop, actually. I met a really interesting couple from Brixham in Devon, which is where my ancestors are from.
Right.
So it's really nice to talk to them. But it's been a real pleasure meeting you.
Right.
And same you.
Lovely.
Yes, we shall watch you now.
Check me out.
Yeah.
Anticipation to see where you're going to go next.
Well, I'm heading down to St Just tomorrow, and then the day after down to Land's End, and then I've got decisions to make about what I'm going to do after
It's
that.
Cape Cornwall is nice down there.
Cape Cornwall, have you been there?
No, not yet.
Oh, that's a very nice place.
Yes.
Very rugged.
Oh, aye. There's a fellow climb to the top of there. Isn't there? A monument there or something.
Yeah.
That's
I'm looking forward to
And
things
Senan
like that.
Cove. You'll have to call in Senan Cove.
Yes, I will indeed. Lovely to meet you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thank you.